Lead is a heavy metal that has been used in various industries for centuries. It can be toxic to humans, causing a range of health issues. We are often exposed to low levels of lead in our environment, sometimes without even realizing it. This exposure can come from various sources like contaminated water, soil, and even household dust. When lead builds up in our bodies over time, it can cause significant health problems, affecting multiple systems. Children are especially vulnerable to the effects of lead as their bodies are still developing. Even small amounts of lead can have a profound impact on a child's development, affecting their growth and cognitive abilities. Lead exposure can cause learning difficulties, behavioral issues, and lower IQ levels in children. Adults are also at risk from lead exposure, which can lead to serious health complications. High levels of lead can damage vital organs like the kidneys and brain, leading to long-term health issues. It's important to be aware of the sources of lead in our daily lives and take steps to minimize exposure. Protecting ourselves from lead is a crucial part of staying healthy and ensuring our well-being. We can do this by making informed choices about the products we use, the foods we eat, and the environments we live in. Knowing the risks and taking preventative measures is essential for everyone, especially for families with young children who are most at risk. By understanding the dangers of lead, we can create a safer and healthier environment for ourselves and future generations, ensuring a better quality of life for all. Cinnamon is a popular spice. It adds flavor to both sweet and savory dishes. Recently, Consumer Reports conducted a study on lead in cinnamon. They tested different brands of cinnamon available in the US market. The results were concerning. The study found that some cinnamon products contained detectable levels of lead. The levels varied depending on the brand and type of cinnamon. Some samples had lead levels considered elevated. This raised concerns about potential health risks, especially for children who consume cinnamon frequently. The findings highlighted the importance of understanding lead contamination in food. Consumer Reports recommended that consumers choose brands with lower lead levels. They also suggested contacting companies to encourage stricter testing and sourcing practices. This report sparked a conversation about the safety of cinnamon and the need for greater transparency in food labeling. Determining safe levels of lead exposure is complex and requires a thorough understanding of various factors. There is no known safe level of lead, meaning any amount can be harmful. Any amount of lead in the body can potentially have negative effects, impacting various bodily functions. However, certain levels are considered more dangerous than others, especially with prolonged exposure. Health organizations like the FDA set guidelines for acceptable lead levels in food products to help manage risk. These guidelines aim to minimize exposure and protect public health by setting limits on lead content. However, these levels are not a guarantee of safety, as individual susceptibility can vary. They represent a level of exposure considered to pose a lower risk, but not an absence of risk. It's important to remember that children are more susceptible to lead's harmful effects due to their developing bodies. Their developing bodies absorb lead more easily than adults, making them more vulnerable. This means that even low levels of lead exposure can be detrimental to their health and development, causing long-term issues. Understanding lead toxicity is not about finding a safe level, but rather minimizing exposure as much as possible to protect health. Several organizations play a crucial role in regulating lead levels in food, ensuring that what we consume is safe. In the United States, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, sets stringent limits for lead in various products, including spices, to protect public health. Internationally, the Codex Alimentarius Commission, a joint body of the FAO and WHO, provides comprehensive guidelines for food safety, including specific lead limits. These organizations rely on extensive scientific data and thorough risk assessments to establish acceptable levels of lead in food products. The ultimate goal is to minimize potential health risks to consumers, ensuring that the food we eat is as safe as possible. However, it's important to note that these limits are not always uniform across different regions. Different countries and organisations may have varying standards based on their own assessments, regulations and local conditions. This can create challenges for consumers trying to make informed choices about the safety of their food. Transparency and clear labelling are essential for consumers to understand the potential risks associated with lead in their food, helping them make better decisions. By staying informed about these standards and advocating for stricter regulations, we can collectively help ensure safer food for everyone, promoting public health and well-being. Navigating the world of cinnamon labels can be tricky. While some brands may voluntarily test for LED and display their findings, others may not. This lack of consistent labelling can make it difficult for consumers to make informed choices about the cinnamon they purchase. One strategy is to look for certifications from third-party organisations that conduct independent testing. These certifications, often displayed prominently on packaging, can provide an added layer of assurance. Another option is to contact cinnamon companies directly and inquire about their lead testing practices. Asking about sourcing and manufacturing processes can also provide valuable insights into a company's commitment to safety. Remember, choosing safer cinnamon involves being proactive. By researching brands, checking labels and contacting companies, we can make choices that minimize our exposure to lead. While the focus on lead in cinnamon is important, it's crucial to remember that lead can be present in other foods as well. Lead contamination can occur in various ways, from soil absorption to manufacturing processes. Some foods that have been found to contain detectable levels of lead include leafy greens, root vegetables, and certain types of fish. Processed foods and beverages packaged in cans with leady soldering can also pose a risk. Diversifying our diets and choosing a variety of foods from different sources can help reduce the risk of overexposure from any single source. Washing fruits and vegetables thoroughly before consumption can also help remove lead residues on surfaces. By being aware of the potential for lead in various foods, we can make informed choices that promote a balanced and healthier diet. Reducing our exposure to LED involves a multifaceted approach. Here are some practical tips to consider. Choose your water source wisely. If you live in an older home with LED pipes, consider using a water filter certified to remove lead. Maintain a clean home environment. Regularly wet dust and vacuum to reduce lead dust, especially in older homes. Practice safe food handling. Wash fruits and vegetables thoroughly, peel fruits when possible, and choose a variety of food sources. Be mindful of children's toys. Opt for toys made from lead-free materials, especially for young children who tend to put things in their mouths. These simple steps can make a significant difference in reducing lead exposure for you and your family. The discovery of lead in cinnamon can be alarming. However, it's important to maintain perspective. Cinnamon, when consumed in moderation as part of a balanced diet, remains a flavorful and enjoyable spice. The key takeaway is to be informed and make conscious choices. By understanding the risks and following the tips outlined, we can continue to enjoy the flavors of cinnamon without unnecessary worry. Remember, a healthy lifestyle involves balance. Rather than eliminating cinnamon entirely, focus on choosing safer brands, varying your diet, and practicing good food hygiene. By staying informed and making mindful choices, we can continue to enjoy the culinary delights of cinnamon while minimizing potential risks. The issue of lead in cinnamon highlights a larger conversation about food safety and consumer awareness. As consumers, we have the right to know what's in our food and how it might affect our health. Demanding transparency from food manufacturers and regulatory bodies is crucial. Clear labeling, stricter testing standards, and open communication about potential risks are essential for empowering consumers to make informed decisions. By staying informed, asking questions, and advocating for our right to safe food, we can collectively create a food system that prioritizes health and well-being. Consumer awareness is a powerful tool for driving positive change in the food industry. Knowledge is power. By staying informed about potential risks in our food supply, we can make choices that protect our health and the health of our families. Remember, the information provided here is not intended to cause alarm, but rather to empower you with knowledge. Continue to research, ask questions, and stay up to date on food safety guidelines. Thank you for taking the time to learn about lead-in cinnamon and the importance of food safety. By staying informed and making conscious choices, we can all contribute to a healthier and safer food environment.